Well, time to find out.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah.
What could it mean?
Wait.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Since when does
Perhaps
it
he had
turn?
simply missed a memo.
Since when does that turn left? It's never done that before, right? Let me guess. This one goes right. Oh, there's a wall there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, as if.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, no, I know where that goes. Well,
Stanley
maybe.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yep, it's incredible. Ooh, maybe if I land on those boxes, they'll break when I fall. No.
But in his eagerness to prove that he was in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. Maybe I gotta jump off the... Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, I'm gonna take the lift across this time.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I think. I mean, unless I can land on one of those trucks or something.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Okay, I think if I jump off there, it's gonna kill me.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
I wanna go through there.
I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her? Who's her? Who's her? Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh yeah, I'm married, right? Is he talking about my wife? I have a wife, right? I think. Yep. Once more into the void.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
How does she know I'm here?
Reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay. 427.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
I don't know.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Okay, we're doing this shit now.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
F. Okay. F for...
Look
What
at him
is
there,
this?
pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Have I? Have I really chosen this life?
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh, cool, I can watch TV.
And so he began to
You
fantasize
suck.
about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Why stop at the building?
Excited him terribly.
To spend time with the... What? Boys, I don't... There's no one here but me, this mannequin, and this crazy voice in my head telling me what to do.
So, he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
I did go through either.
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
I didn't even spend time with the boys. It's just... Wait a second. Am I spelling something? What are the letters? F? No. I'm not spelling anything, am I?
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
What? Baby? Did I miss something?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
What?
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. I guess we're gonna write it out. I got as much time as you do. Well, in theory. What if I press the wrong button? Yeah, what if I hit B? Nothing happens. If I hit space, nothing happens. W? Oh, I move. Duh. Escape? Haha! Something happens. Options. Extras. What are extras? Achievements enabled, saves enabled, back. Keyboard, mouse. I wish it wasn't paused so I could just wait it out. Okay. Closed caption, huh? Cool. Video. Whoa, got bright. Laptop power saving is disabled because I'm not using a laptop. FOV. Yeah. Whoa. I'm tripping balls now. Okay. Advanced. Aliasing mode. You know, I never did check the, Okay, that should be fine. Never did check the resolution to make sure it would actually fit well in, in OBS. So back to this, huh? C, F, G, B. Doop-a-doo. I'll just sit here and peruse Reddit while we wait. Let's see. Let's go to there's got to be a today I learned thing right here. GIF of a lizard drinking water. He looks very, very pleased with himself. Lick, lick, lick. Two cats cuddling together. Ooh, that's a neat looking spider. Ow. Some poor sap playing Skyrim and either doing incredibly well at it or sucking balls. Okay. Where's the detail thread? Wow. Ooh, even better. Writing prompts. What the? Oh. What the? Okay. Writing prompts. You're a superhero whose ability to subconsciously freezes time whenever someone nearby is in mortal danger. Usually it's obvious who's in trouble, and you can save them quickly, but not this time. It's been 10 years. So it's been stuck in time for 10 years. New technology allows the courts to extract memories from suspects to prove their guilt or innocence, although the suspect permanently loses the memory that was extracted. This results in a nearly flawless conviction rate, but no one in jail can remember what they're there for. Some serious, next level shit. There's a writing prompt, that's not news. Everyone else ran with their... Oh, everyone else ran when the poltergeist spelled out hell. You were the only one there to see. Oh, when the O was added. Hello. Hello, Mr. Ghost. Wow, this guy's really patient. I woke up in a Soho doorway. A policeman knew my name. He said, "You can go sleep at home tonight if you can get up and walk away." I staggered back through the underground, and the breeze blew back my hair. I remember throwing punches around and preaching from my chair. Who are you? Who? Oh, who are you? I took a tube back out of town, back to the rolling pin. I felt a little like a dying clown with the stinker in Tintin. I stretched back and I hiccuped and looked back on my busy day. 11 hours in the tin pan. God, there's got to be another way. Well, who are you? Huh, well, that's just... Ah, fuck it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Existence is pain to whom he seeks, Jerry, and we will do anything to alleviate that pain.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Hello, Tuxie. I didn't even have to push a button to die. That was interesting. Okay. I guess we're doing this again.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
For now. Ooh, that's ominous. So it's going back, it's going to the right again. Yeah,
When
sure.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yes.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Sure.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered
Pairs well
aloud
with liver
to
and fava
nobody.
beans.
He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Again with the pin number.
2845.
Again with the
But of
freaking pin
course,
number.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
548482.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely.
It's not a statistical unlikelihood.
No, this is what he was going to do instead.
I mean, there's only, if it's a 4-digit code, there's only, well, 10,000 possibilities, including 4 zeros. So yeah.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Yeah.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code
I don't
by
fall down the
sheer
hole?
luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, into the elevator of doom. God damn it. Jesus. Doing this again.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright. One more time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Yeah, we've
What
done all this
horrible
before.
secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I keep on hit control because that's how you sprint in Minecraft. Well, or double forward. Let's see, mine was just over here, right?
Their true nature
427.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
Yep.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like somebody's house there. Oh no, that's one of the bosses. Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
You're damn
his
right.
own life in someone else's control? Never. It
Never.
was unthinkable.
Unthinkable.
Was it even possible?
I wouldn't think of it.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
You don't say what kind of candy it is. Whether someone's looking.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Sure. I mean, if you want to believe that, I'm gonna go hit that big on button and see what that does. It's got to do something, right? Everything's got to do something. Well, maybe not. I mean, isn't that the point of this game? Yep.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yeah.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Huh?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode,
Neat.
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
Neat.
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star.
Am I supposed to turn off the bomb?
Your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that?
Gotta hit 2 first.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Yeah, I would,
A
actually.
moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Yeah, I remember that.
Other times, I let the office
These
sink
buttons
into
don't
the
seem to do
ground,
anything.
swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you
Wasn't
try
the
to make
5?
sense of
Oh, yeah, it was over
everything
there, wasn't
and
it?
take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
Yeah, these don't do anything.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Okay.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
I'm just trying
Is it
to
that
figure
you have
something
no
out.
idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running
What does
from
that
button
say?
to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
I'm just gonna stand in the hole.
These
Fuck you.
buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door.
Yeah, that big red button.
Anything. Something here
What door?
will save me.
That door open?
Why would you think that,
That door's not
Stanley?
open.
That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No, I don't. That's what I'm here to figure out.
Stanley,
Weirdo.
you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That
there
timer
a
isn't a
door?
catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still
I've already
playing
died like
instead
3
of
times.
watching
I don't
the
care.
cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first.
Okay.
So you can't.
Okay.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling
I thought they were nuclear. I'd be
desperately,
vaporized.
or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
Will you stop shaking the thing?
It's
I mean,
all the same to me. All a
there
part
doesn't
of
seem to
me.
be any choice. Those
And
buttons
believe
don't do
me,
anything.
I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Okay. Did he blow up too? I'm okay if he blew up. Hello? Anyone? No one? Motherfucker, we're back here. Okay, new plan.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. what could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2-8. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Alright. I can't sit down. How can I relax if I can't sit down? I'm just gonna run in circles.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Trying to escape, remember? Alright, elevator of doom. Third time's the charm.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Hey.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Is there a track, though?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I mean, anything to advance the plot, right?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Yeah.
Farewell, Stanley,
What?
cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Ah! There's a light over here. Oy vey.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Okay. Yeah. Treatise on free will, I guess. Okay. The office. I guess this is a museum of some kind? Filing cabinets. Office computers. Oh look, one's playing solitaire. Solitaire. Aww. That would have been just as entertaining as this game. Yep, he's froze again. Holy shit, it's back on. Neat. Buttons, doom buttons, button sounds. It's a museum about the game. Well, that's a neat sound. Oh, it's the credits. This is the end of the game. Huh. Cool. I made it to the end. I think. Oh yeah, when did that fern ever come into play? I thought it was bullshit. Larger text, something, okay. Warzone. On Battlefield fighting aliens. Why couldn't they make that ending? That would have been awesome. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was kind of far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Yeah. Wait, someone's typing. There's somebody up here. Right? No? What? Marius, subject. Question brought forth by the intense passion of my soul. Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? What? Will the Stanley Parable have infinite quests? How many endings? Stanley Parable is really going to let me go shopping. I hope it will. Okay, this is weird. This is enough of this for me today. Stanley's office. Like I said, there were a couple different designs. Exit. All right.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
So is this like the big red button at the end of Ready Player One? You just turn off the whole thing and it deletes the game.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Okay. And that was the Stanley Parable, I think. I don't know if I got all of it. I got as much of it as I could, and then some. Join us next week when our game of... Not next week. Next time, when our game will be... I don't know, I guess I could try Octodad. Let's do that. Alright. Peace out, y'all. See ya.